Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? So what I want to talk about today is our power grid. And I have to tell you a funny story. So what was it? Yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I'm in bed and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning and my husband's he's getting up and he's, getting ready for work and all of a sudden, pew, power goes out. Right. And I'm like, all right, and my husband's going nuts, and my daughter-in-law, my great kids, my son, they're like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden my phone rings and it's my neighbor next door. And Belinda calls me and she's just like, good morning. Do you have power at your house? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's all right. It's probably just, a transformer that went, or, we're having a rolling blackout. I was just like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I said, you should get used to it, And she's like, what do you mean get used to it? I said, Belinda, calm down, man. It's all right. I said, Sean already called the electric company. I said, there's 1,300 houses in our area that are without electricity right now. I said, it'll be back up soon. She's like, all right. She's like, I'm getting up for work right now. And she's like, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And I said, yeah, everything's fine. I said, it's all right. I said, don't worry about it. I said, we're going to be all right. And she's like, okay. So that was the end of that. And everybody's like running around my house. And I'm like, guys, it's fine. Chill out. All right. So literally within like a half an hour, the fans come back on, the lights come back on, and everybody's like, we dodged a bullet. And I'm like, guys, I want you to get used to this. All right. I said, because this is going to be the new normal. They're like, Mom, how can you stay so calm? And I'm like, dude, I've been preparing for things like this for years. Calm down. So, and plus we're now in hurricane season. Chill out, and plus the night before we had a really bad rainstorm, lightning storm, and I'm like, it's fine. So there's an expert, and he is actually cautioned that approximately 300 Americans could actually be wiped out as a direct result of an attack on the presently vulnerable United States power grid. Now, I've talked about this. Many other people have talked about this. Okay. But I feel that, this is more imminent than ever before. And I think that we should talk about it again. All right. So this financier, his name is David Tice, T-I-C-E. And he made the remarks during an interview claiming that the national power outage would lead to the 90% of the population losing their lives, pointing a finger at none other than China as the likely would-be culprit. And he went on to describe that the attack would be enabled by debilitating the U.S. Power facilities through hacking, targeting like terrorist attacks, and the detonation of an EMP, which would lead the nation in extreme chaos. And this is what he actually said. So take this for what it's worth, all right? And because when I heard about this, and I'm like, wow, dude, all right. He said, if our power grid goes down, it's really becomes nearly a zombie apocalypse. And I'm like, where's Rick Grimes? But anyway, so he also drew attention to the fact that introducing safety measures to make the U.S. power grid more robust could prevent an attack of this nature. And measures that many influential lobby groups are reportedly trying to prevent the government from implementing due to the expense involved. Well, you know what? Irregardless, okay, of what the expenses are, I think that we should put our money where our mouth is, into the power grid, and stop irresponsibly spending money on bullshit that holds no water. But that's just my opinion, okay? And to emphasize the urgency of this matter, he brought up the 2013 attack on the Pacific Gas and Electric Substation in Coyote, California, where a team of shooters inflicted $15 million worth of damage. All right. And the culprits responsible for this incursion, however, they were never caught. Right on? They were never caught. So an investigators actually were called and credited the incident to professional operatives. And additionally, there was claims that it was the most significant incident of domestic terrorism involving the grid that has ever occurred. So, you know, we are so vulnerable. Okay, we're literally so vulnerable that this could literally pop off at any moment. So, you know, being as though we are a community of the prepared mind, I want you to keep this in the back of your head, because I think that this is something that is imminent. It could very well happen at any given moment. And are you prepared for something like this? You know, so it was also noted that 300, okay, of America's building-sized transformers were built in China. And these fears were voiced that Taiwan was likely to be invaded before the end of Biden's current tenure. Okay, and the relevance of the latter is that China would try to disable America, which is Taiwan's biggest ally, would try to disable America first by taking out the power grid. Now, this has been a topic of a discussion for how long, right? And all they need to do is take out, and I've said this before, nine transformers, man. 9, all right? And this could actually happen, okay? So I'm not trying to scare you in any way, shape, or form, okay? But I want you to just keep this in the back of your head, okay? If we truly have an outage that is nationwide, that lasts 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, as many as 90% of Americans would perish. So it's like 300 million people wiping off the map like that, gone, poof. Okay, the United States federal government has since backed a dedicated EMP commission to assess the nation's vulnerability to attacks on the power grid. But I think that our government is spending money on, like I said, bullshit. They're not putting their money where their mouth is. I really don't think that they are. Okay, so keep this in the back of your head and try to prepare as much as you possibly can for something like this, okay? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one, all right? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.